The containment bay still reeked of copper and fear. Kor sat in the corner of the reinforced cell, his massive scaled body coiled tight, muscles twitching beneath armor-plated hide. Blood, not his own, stained his claws and muzzle. The Veltraxian handler had made the same mistake the others did, approaching with confidence backed by neural suppressors and shock prods, believing technology could substitute for understanding. It couldn't. The apex cub was only 8 months old by human standards, but already stood nearly 3 meters at the shoulder. His species didn't evolve on a forgiving world. Apex predators from Dracor Prime were engineered by their brutal ecosystem to kill efficiently and without hesitation. 4 sets of eyes tracked movement in overlapping fields. Retractable claws could shred durasteel. Jaws carried enough bite force to crack starship hull plating. Galactic Xenobiology Corps had declared Kor too dangerous to rehabilitate after the 4th handler death. Euthanasia was scheduled for the next solar cycle. Then Rhea volunteered. Station Commander Zixthal had laughed, a sound like grinding gears. You understand this creature has killed 4 trained xenobiologists? Beings with decades of experience? Rhea adjusted her worn jacket and shrugged. I read the reports. They all tried to dominate him. Shock collars, neural suppressants, forced compliance. She paused. Has anyone just let him be? Let him be? Zixthal's antenna quivered with disbelief. It's a killing machine, not a household pet. He's a child, Rhea corrected quietly. A scared, traumatized child who's been tortured since birth. The commander had reluctantly approved a single observation session. Strictly monitored. Armed guards stationed outside. Medical team on standby. Rhea entered the containment bay carrying a plastic basket of laundry. Kor's 4 eyes locked onto her immediately. His lips peeled back, revealing rows of serrated teeth. A low rumble emanated from deep within his chest, not quite a growl, not quite a warning. His haunches tensed, preparing to spring. Rhea glanced at him briefly, then walked to the far corner of the cell. She set the basket down and began folding clothes. The predator didn't move. Confusion flickered across his alien features. She folded a shirt, smoothed the fabric, placed it in a neat pile, picked up another. Kor's rumbling faltered. His primary eyes remained fixed on her while his secondary set scanned for threats that never materialized. No weapons, no shocking devices, no fear scent pumping from her pores, just fabric, being folded, methodically, peacefully. The apex cub's muscles gradually unclenched. His breathing slowed from rapid, aggressive huffs to something approaching curiosity. He'd never seen prey behavior like this. Everything that entered his cell either attacked or fled. This human did neither. Rhea folded a pair of pants, matched the seams carefully. Her movements were economical, practiced. The kind of motion repeated thousands of times until it became meditation. 20 minutes passed, then 40. Outside the reinforced glass, Station Commander Zixthal watched with mounting bewilderment. What is she doing? The xenopsychologist beside him checked her datapad nervously. His stress hormones are dropping significantly. This shouldn't be possible. Inside the cell, Kor had shifted position. No longer coiled to attack, he'd settled into a more comfortable crouch. His 4 eyes never left Rhea, but the predatory calculation had been replaced by something else entirely. Interest. Rhea finished the last shirt and started on towels. She hummed softly, not a song, just a gentle, tuneless sound humans made when content. The vibration carried through the recycled air of the containment bay. Kor's head tilted. His species didn't vocalize for pleasure. Sound meant hunting calls or territorial warnings. But this noise, it didn't threaten. It didn't demand. It simply was. The apex cub stood slowly, his 3-meter frame unfolding with liquid grace. Each movement could explode into lethal violence in microseconds. Rhea continued folding towels. Kor took a step forward, then another. His claws clicked softly against the deck plating. The security team outside tensed, hands moving toward override controls. Hold, Zixthal commanded, antenna rigid with tension. Wait. Kor approached until he stood less than 2 meters from Rhea, close enough to kill her before anyone could intervene. His 4 eyes studied her intently, analyzing every detail. The way her fingers creased fabric, the rhythm of her breathing, the complete absence of aggression. She glanced up at him briefly, met his primary eyes without challenge or submission, just acknowledgement. then returned to her towels. Something ancient and hardwired in Core's brain short-circuited. Every instinct screamed that this weak, soft creature should be prey. But prey didn't ignore predators. Prey ran or fought or froze in terror. This human simply folded laundry. The apex cub lowered himself to the floor, slowly, watching her constantly for any change in behavior. When she showed none, he shifted into a lying position, massive head resting on crossed forepaws. Rhea finished the towels and began sorting socks. An utterly mundane task, the kind of boring, repetitive activity that defined civilized life across 1,000 species. Core's eyes grew heavy. The adrenaline that had kept him battle-ready since the handlers started hurting him finally began to ebb. For the first time since being captured from his birth world, he felt something other than fear and rage. He felt calm. When Rhea completed her folding, she didn't leave immediately. Instead, she sat cross-legged beside her neat piles and pulled out a data pad. She read silently, occasionally shifting position, completely at ease in the presence of a creature that could disembowel her without effort. Core watched, drowsily. His tail, which had been rigid with tension, now curved loosely around his body. His breathing deepened into the regular pattern of approaching sleep. After another hour, as Rhea prepared to leave, Core did something that made the entire observation team gasp. He crawled forward, submissive, careful, and curled his massive body beside her, not touching, respecting her space, but close, seeking the presence of this strange being who asked nothing of him except existence. Rhea looked down at the apex cub, this engineered killing machine, this irredeemable monster, and gently placed one hand on his scaled hide. Core released a sound his species didn't make in nature, a rumbling purr of contentment. "Commander," the xenopsychologist whispered outside. "Request permission to cancel the euthanasia order." Zixthal's antenna drooped in defeat. "Granted, and assign the human as permanent handler." Rhea smiled slightly, fingers scratching behind Core's jaw ridge. "Good boy," she murmured. "You just needed someone to see you, didn't you?" The apex cub, who had slaughtered 4 handlers without hesitation, closed all 4 eyes and slept peacefully for the first time in his life. Humanity's greatest weapon, the galaxy would learn, wasn't superior technology or military might. It was the radical act of simple, persistent compassion.